Good day, everyone. I'm Chairman Haspi, and I'm going to report about hydroelectric power. Before we start, let me introduce the objectives for this topic. To introduce the hydroelectric power and to discuss the hydroelectric power operation. What is hydroelectric power? Hydroelectric power is a form of renewable energy that uses the power of moving water to generate electricity. It is also an electricity produced from generators driven by turbines that convert the potential energy of falling or fast-flowing water into mechanical energy. More than 2,000 years ago, hydropower used by the Greeks to turn water wheels for grinding wheat into flour. In 1700s, hydropower was used to mill lumber and to pump water for irrigation. The first electricity power station was in Craigside, Northumberland, England. William George Armstrong installed a generator in his home to power labor-saving machines such as laundry equipment and a hydraulic lift. In 1879, first commercial hydroelectric power plant was built at Niagara Falls. In 1881, street lamps in the city of Niagara Falls were powered by hydropower. The world's first hydroelectric power plant, which used a dam, began operation on September 30, 1882. It was on the Fox River in Wisconsin, United States. It was initiated by paper manufacturer H. J. Rogers, who had been inspired by Thomas Edison's idea for an electricity-producing station in New York. In 19th century, hydropower became a source for generating electricity. Many hydropower plants were constructed all over the world. In 1913, hydropower development in the Philippines started in 1913 with the first power plant established by missionaries in Baguio City, the Camp John Hay hydroelectric power plant with an installed capacity of 560 kilowatts. In 1936, Hoover Dam, also known as the greatest dam in the world, goes into operation. It was the biggest dam in the world when it was completed and have a total power capacity of 2,018 megawatts. In 1953, the August 6 hydroelectric plant was originally known as the Maria Cristina Falls Hydroelectric Plant. It is one of the oldest hydroelectric power plant in the Philippines. It is located at the west of Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, and has a capacity of 200 megawatts electric. The Three Gorges Dam, located in Hubei Province, began its first operation with limited hydroelectric power production in 2003. It is the world's largest hydropower station. It can generate up to 22.5 gigawatts of electricity. Construction of the dam began in 1994 and was completed in 2006. Now, let's take a look at what's inside the hydroelectric power plant and how it operates. The most common type of hydroelectric power plant is an impoundment. It is typically a large hydropower system that uses a dam to store water in a reservoir. A dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. The reservoir is the place behind the dam where water is stored. It is located higher than the rest of the dam structure. Inside the dam, there is a trash rack or filter that keeps the breeze from entering the turbine. The water behind the dam flows through an intake and flow through a penstock that delivers the water to a turbine. The water pushes against blades in a turbine, causing them to turn and converting the fast-flowing water to mechanical energy. And the generator will convert the mechanical energy to electrical energy, and this is fed to a transformer which converts the voltage to a higher value that is suitable for long-distance transmission. When the water in the reservoir increases, the large accumulation of water endangers the stability of the dam structure. To avoid this, a structure is provided in the body of a dam or near the dam. This structure is called as spillway. A fish ladder is a structure that allows migrating fish passage over or around obstacles on a river. Here are the terminologies in hydroelectric power plant. Again, dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. Reservoir, where water is collected and stored. Trash rack or filter keeps the breeze from entering the turbine. Control gate controls the water flow. Penstock, a pipe that delivers the water to a turbine. Turbine converts fast-flowing water into mechanical energy. Generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Draft tube is a connecting pipe which is fitted generally at the outlet or exit of turbines. Transformer converts the voltage to a higher value that is suitable for long-distance transmission. Spillway, passage for surplus water over or around a dam when the water itself is full. The amount of electricity that can be generated at a hydro plant is determined by two factors. First is the head. Head is how far the water drops. It is vertical distance between the surface of the water in the reservoir and the turbine. Next is flow. Flow is how much water moves through the system. The more water moving through a system, the higher the flow. Generally, a high head plant needs less water flow than a low head plant to produce the same amount of electricity. There are different types of hydroelectric turbines. First is the impeller. Examples of impeller is the Pelton and cross-flow. The second one is the reaction. Examples of reaction is the propeller, Francis, and kinetic. So let's talk about first the impulse. Impulse turbine generally uses the velocity of the water to move the runner and discharges to the atmospheric pressure. The water stream hits each bucket on the runner. There is no suction on the downside of the turbine, and the water flows out to the bottom of the turbine housing after hitting the runner. An impulse turbine is generally suitable for high head and low flow applications. One particular type of impulse turbine is Pelton. A Pelton wheel has one or more free jets discharging water into an aerated space and impinging on the buckets of a runner. Draft tubes are not required for impulse turbine since the runner must be located above the maximum tailwater to permit operation at atmospheric pressure. Next is the cross-flow turbine. It is a drum shape and uses an elongated rectangular section nozzle directed against curved vanes on a cylindrical shaped runner. It resembles a squirrel cage blower. The cross-flow turbine allows the water to flow through the blades twice. The cross-flow was developed to accommodate larger water flows and low heads than the Pelton. Another type of hydroelectric turbine is reaction. Reaction turbine develops power from the combined action of pressure and moving water. The runner is placed directly in the water stream flowing over the blades rather than striking each individually. Reaction turbines are generally used for sites with lower head and higher flows than compared with the impulse turbines. Examples of reaction is propeller. Propeller turbine generally has a runner with 3 to 6 blades in which the water contacts all of the blades constantly. There are several types of propeller turbines: bulb turbine, Sraflo, tube turbine, and Kaplan. Another example is Francis turbine. Francis turbine has a runner with fixed buckets, usually 9 or more. Water is introduced just above the runner and all around it and then falls through, causing it to spin. Last example is kinetic, also called free flow turbines. Generate electricity from the kinetic energy present in flowing water rather than the potential energy from the head. The systems may operate in rivers, man-made channels, tidal waters, or ocean currents. Next are the advantage and disadvantage of hydroelectric power. For the advantage, hydroelectric energy is renewable. It is considered as renewable because it uses the Earth's water to produce electricity. Hydroelectric power is one of the green and clean alternative energy sources. Hydropower plants do not emit any pollutants into the air. Hydropower plants are dependable and long-lived, and their maintenance costs are low compared to coal or nuclear plants. Hydroelectric power plants supply electricity to remote communities, attract construction of highways, industry, and commerce. The lake that form behind the dam can be used for recreational opportunities, offering activities such as fishing, boating, and swimming. It can also be used for irrigation purposes. Hydroelectric power plants have the capacity to store large amount of water for irrigation when rainfall disappears and for consumption when there is shortage. For the disadvantage, interruptions of natural flow can have a great impact to the river ecosystem and the environment. It may destroy or disrupt wildlife and natural resources. We know that power plants can be incredibly expensive to build, no matter what type you may be building, and hydropower plant is no exception. Dams can act as a barrier to migratory and resident fish that can lead to fish injury and mortality due to the high elevation. People living along low-lying areas are often in the danger of floods, as their areas might get swept away when water is released in full force from the dam. Apart from this, these people are forcibly moved out so that the construction of this dam can continue. Here are the list of hydroelectric power plants in the Philippines according to National Power Corporation or NAPOCOR. In North Luzon, we have Bacon Hydroelectric Plant that is located in Alilen, Ilocos Sur, Ambuklao Dam in Ambuklao, Bukod, Benguet, Binga Dam in Binga, Itogon, Benguet, San Roque Dam in San Manuel, Pangasinan, Angat Dam in Nosgaray, Bulacan. In South Luzon, we have the Caliraya Dam in Dumban, Laguna, Lumot River Dam in Dumban, Cabinti, Laguna, Botocan Hydroelectric Plant in Mayhay, Laguna, Buhi Barit Hydroelectric Plant in Santa Justina, Buhi, Camarines Sur, Kawayan Hydroelectric Plant in Gualahon, Sorsogon, Balongbong Hydroelectric Plant in Catanduanes. In Visayas, we have the Lubok Hydroelectric Plant in Lubok, Bohol, Amlan Hydroelectric Plant in Amlan, Negros Oriental. And in Mindanao, we have the Agus 1 Hydroelectric Plant in Marawi City, Lanao del Sur, Agus 2 Hydroelectric Plant in Saguarian, Lanao del Sur, Agus 4 Hydroelectric Plant in Barangay Nangka, Lanao del Norte, Agus 5 Hydroelectric Plant in Ditucalan, Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, Agus 6 Hydroelectric Plant in Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, Agus 7 Hydroelectric Plant in Fuentes, Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, Pulangi 4 Hydroelectric Plant in Maramag, Bukidnon, Agusan 2 Hydroelectric Plant in Damilag, Manolo, Fortic, Bukidnon, and Talomo Hydroelectric Plant in Davao City. And here are the corresponding installed capacity of each dam. In Bacon Hydroelectric Plant, it has an installed capacity of 70 megawatts, Ambuklao Dam 105 megawatts, Binga Dam 100 megawatts, San Roque Dam 411 megawatts, Angat Dam 246, Lobok Hydroelectric Plant 1.2 megawatts, Amlan Hydroelectric Plant 0.8, Caliraya Dam 22.6, Lumot River Dam, 28 megawatts. Botocan Hydroelectric Plant, 35 megawatts. Buhi Barit Hydroelectric Plant, 1.8 megawatts. Kawayan Hydroelectric Plant, 400 kilowatts. Balongbong Hydroelectric Plant, 1.8 megawatts. Agus 1 Hydroelectric Plant, 80 megawatts. Agus 2 Hydroelectric Plant, 180 megawatts. Agus 4 Hydroelectric Plant, 158.1 megawatts. Agus 5 Hydroelectric Plant, 55 megawatts. Agus 6 Hydroelectric Plant, 200 megawatts. Agus 7 Hydroelectric Plant, 54 megawatts. Pulangi 4 Hydroelectric Plant, 255 megawatts. Agusan 2 Hydroelectric Plant, 1.6 megawatts. And Talomo Hydroelectric Plant, 3,470 kilowatts. And this is according to National Power Corporation or NAPOCOR. And that is the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening and stay safe.